Alright. I highly doubt that anybody else on YouTube is going to make a video discussing these 3 topics within the same video. And so I'd like to. Yeah, here's the clip.
Police from Tumbler Ridge RCMP and surrounding detachments responded immediately, with members from the local detachment arriving within 2 minutes of the initial call. Upon arrival, there was active gunfire, and as officers approached the school, rounds were fired in their direction. Officers entered the school to locate the threat. Within minutes, an individual confirmed to be the shooter was located deceased, with what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The suspect has been identified as 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar, who is a resident of Tumbler Ridge. The deceased victims from the school include an adult female educator, 3 female students, and 2 male students between the ages of 13 and 17. Two additional victims, an adult female and a male youth, were located deceased in the local residence.
You talked about the history of mental health with this female suspect. Could you expand on that?
I'll give you perhaps remaining some general comments on that. Police had attended that residence on multiple occasions over the past several years, dealing with concerns of mental health with respect to our suspect. I can say that on different occasions, the suspect was apprehended for assessment and follow-up.
Okay, so I am not certain where he referred. The police talking referred to Jesse Van Rootselaar
5 children
as a woman. I don't see where that... I do not see in the clip where that happened. But what I do know is that this is more than words. This is now an action. This is inherent support of the shooter. Yes, it is. You are respecting the shooter for something that is not objective reality. Congratulations. Again, this system does not care about your image. Why do you think LGBTQ and DEI really exist? I've explained this in other videos. And so I found where I had it saved in Instagram. And I know I commented something. What is it going to say? Yeah, inherent support of a school shooter from a police officer in 2026. This is 2026, folks. I mean, yeah. That pretty much sums it up. Honesty over emotional security. That is the difference between fake and real support. They really just giving people what they want for votes. But like it runs even deeper than that because there's a segregation of emotion and logic that has been incentivized. It's just kind of been worked in there into society, into the maturity and success correlation with materialism, consumerism, capitalism. So it's not that bipartisan and partisan aren't real. It's just that they're disingenuous completely. And that spawns its own errors intentionally. It's like, hey, let's create as many societal mistakes as possible. Let's try and create as much division as possible. If the Epstein files have taught us anything, it's that we can't really fully trust any government unless there's full use of all fundamentals from within. This shit should have never been, like, something that is aspired, it's influential, it's iconic in the first place. That's not what it was intended for. Which leads me into my next story here. This one's really fucked. Okay. Ontario resident who wants both a vagina and a penis wins public funding for unique surgery. Hold up, maybe I should fact check it. Because that's just so ridiculous. I thought I saw multiple accounts posting it, though. It's true, yes. Bro, no. I was hoping it'd be false. But yeah, it's true. Yeah. The individual is identified. In, initials at least. Okay. Alright. This has big problems with it. This is what happens when the majority of people giving tax dollars can't educate themselves on how they're being used. Surrey in BC, is it? That's still under siege because of extortion. Canadians are dying waiting for necessary medical care, basic medical care. There's so much strain on the healthcare. We can't even... If we can't help people, why are we doing this elective surgery? Generalized representation is not representative of morally representable individuals. I will say this 1,000,000 times over. This is not a parody, nope. I saw that comment. Oh my god. I wish. So yeah, a court has ruled. Ugh. What? Source, Government of Canada, March 2024. $224 on food and housing per refugee per day. $1,500 on food and housing per refugee per week. $6,700 on food and housing per refugee per month. $81,760 on food and housing per refugee per year. Median income in Canada, $59,400. Okay, AI is putting up a fight. You know, sometimes it makes bad arguments. Apparently I forgot how to spell accommodation. Bro. Okay, you do. Okay, I see. There we go. You could argue that the graphic is technically grounded in specific spending data, but using it to suggest a refugee receives that amount as a personal benefit is where the accuracy breaks down. To be a fair argument, you have to distinguish between individual income and systemic operational costs. This is how you break it down. $224 a day figure, which equals to 81 grand a year, is a real number used in government reporting. It's an all-in cost to the federal government to keep one person in a temporary hotel. It includes the room rate, 3 meals a day, on-site security, and administrative staff. From a taxpayer's perspective, you could argue the number is accurate because that is the actual amount of public money being spent per person to support them while they are in the hotel system. The inaccurate side, how the money is handled. The comparison to a median income of 59 grand where the graphic becomes highly misleading because these two numbers represent completely different things. Okay, well, let's see how that is. A person making 59 grand has that money in their bank account to spend as they wish. A refugee in a hotel never sees the $81,000. It is paid directly to hotel chains and catering companies, but that's not the point. That's circumventing the point. That's the whole point, is that they get a hotel, catering, they get all this stuff, more the AI is acknowledging, yes, it's objectively higher value, but they don't have any malleability. Well, of course, they wouldn't want malleability with that outcome, because it's a good outcome. And guess what? Canada is already less than stagnant, and we can only string along so long. So, yeah, once a refugee leaves the hotel and moves into an apartment, that $224 a day spend vanishes. Okay, bro, but they're given all this shit. And I think it's because they're a more profitable population, let's say. Also, I want to note, look how culture assimilation is playing out. It's not good. It's not. Not anything to do with general incompetence or anything like that. I mean, that could, depends, but unfamiliarity, difference in culture. So Western elites know that we have things, therefore we have leverage. They're using that leverage. That's exactly what's happening. Anyway, summary of this. If your argument is the government is spending an inefficient, massive amount of money per person on a broken hotel system, the $81,000 figure is a powerful and fact-based talking point. However, if the argument is refugees are given more money to live on than the average Canadian worker, then the graphic is false. Yeah, but if you look at the cost of living currently in Canada, the value of the services provided matches up with the claim entirely. There is no second side to the coin here. It's an entirely valid figure. It sounds appropriate too for the services and accommodations provided. Can you really, the AI is completely up the wrong tree here, let's say. The worker has $59,000 in buying power. No, not if their salary is $59,000, because taxes, because cost of living. You're lucky if $59,000 does it anymore. Right? I can't be crazy to say that. I feel like the average salary got to be higher than that. But according to, it checks out. Crazy thing is we can make advancements and help people. That really bothers me. And now the last thing I'm going to talk about is a person named Alice Atwood. So yeah, look at this. Released after stabbing his own kids, a trans-identified man, Alice Atwood, in Canada, stabbed his 7 and 8-year-old children. His daughter needed emergency surgery. Somehow it was granted bail instantly. Now he is reportedly living in a van while awaiting sentencing. Public safety is not optional, or maybe it is in Canada. And yeah, there's a video. I watched it. The behavior is just unlike anything I've ever seen. Just the manner, yeah, here it is. Or get a better one. Go to YouTube to be able to get a better one.
Who did what I did and harassed them. People don't actually, but they threaten. I think it's wild that people are like, we're gonna find you and we're gonna get you. I'm like, yo, I am a mentally unstable person who lives in a minivan and I need a full psychiatric assessment. I go around people when I have to.
Okay.
If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. I think it's safer.
Why is... he's saying it like that's not kind of a normal thing to feel to some degree. I mean, the reality is people don't really care what you're doing, but like a dentist appointment, that's a great example, actually. You often have to sit and wait in the waiting room, and sometimes it can be packed a little bit, and depending on what you're having done, that might be a bit stressful. You might not really be too talkative. This kind of thing happens, but to be like, I go around people, I don't want to, and then just maniacally laugh.
I go around people when I have to.
If I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
I mean,
Safer for the community the less time people are around me. Why would you come up to someone who did what I did and harass them?
this is a bunch of people trying to play it cool that they're okay, they're not okay, and they're buying into the government trying to make it seem like they care about you, your image, your self-esteem, your body.
People don't actually, but they threaten to, right? And I think that's just wild. Anyway, good morning. It's Alice Michael. Mwah. Peace, love, and unicorn. Wild that people are like, we're gonna find you and we're gonna get you. I'm like, yo, I am a mentally unstable person who lives in a minivan and I need a full psychiatric assessment. Like, I go around people when I have to. If I didn't have...
That is the van? Don't tell me that's actually his van. I don't think that... It's like it's like a deranged version of the Mystery Machine. It's like if... Yeah, I don't...
And let people know that I am being safe, I'm being secure, I have taken care of my needs, and I am just chilling until I actually go for my sentencing. And yeah, I did kind of realize that we do have a highly unique opportunity here, whereas I'm someone who did something heinous and I'm on social media, whereas pretty much all the other people who do something heinous get locked in a box and blocked out from society, and they don't get to talk to them. So, like,
maybe that
does it put
maybe that should happen?
me at risk? I'm already at risk.
Everybody is every day with everything that you do. Pretty damn well. So... Brothers acting like that's crazy.
So whatever, I guess. Yeah, sure it does, but also I know that I'm going to do everything in my part to not hurt anyone else in society, for sure. Like, nope, I'm good. That was a horrible, horrible, horrible error and a bad decision that I made. And I shouldn't have ever done it. I never will do it again. And
Well, I'm glad you're definitely taking a proportional amount of accountability to this situation. I guess that's it then. Everybody back it up. It's all good. These people don't have self-restraint, reservation. They don't use logic in the heat of the moment. They're incapable of it, which means they're incapable of managing themselves. They often don't have standards, discipline. These aren't things where it's like, oh, when I was little. No, you can learn these things, what their use is, and then apply them to yourself. Being healthy helps you be able to do that easier, but everybody can do it. Everybody is capable of it.
if I could rewrite history and make it so
It's just ignorance and egos. Ignorance and ego does not mix. It just doesn't.
I didn't do it, I would. But that's not going to happen. So I definitely
Ignorance and authoritarianism is even worse.
have to answer for it. And we just have to...
Authoritarianism with logic and emotion in mind is how you get rid of issues like East Vancouver absolutely rotting away, drug-ridden zombie city.
I guess deal with it. So what do you think? What should we do with this opportunity? Because since we're connecting. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Peace, love, and unicorns. Alice Michael out.
I agree with this comment. Absolutely frightening. This is terrifying. Not just because of what we're seeing and hearing, but because of what it represents and extends to. It's not good shit. Oh yeah, and about the Ontario elective transgender surgery happening. Guess who's paying for that? I don't know if I mentioned. I can't remember if I did or didn't, but our tax dollars are going to that. Canadian tax dollars. And I just want to reiterate, contrast that with the current service of Canadian healthcare. Its efficiency and proficiency. I don't even know if this is a 90-10 issue anymore because more people are being duped by good intent and trust into believing that the system cares about you personally. More people are being divided every day. Be sure to check out my Discord server where you can chat about almost anything. Be sure to check out my TikTok where I post some political stuff, but mostly just funny stuff as well, and a little bit of both. Do subscribe. The goal is to be the most subscribed Vince on YouTube. My name means to conquer. You can help me do that. I hope this was a genuinely entertaining and enjoyable watch. Cheers.